Next, we will discuss about the reactants of photosynthesis and their role in photosynthesis. If we look at the equation of the photosynthesis, on this side, these are reactants which include carbon dioxide, water, and the most important reactant, light. While on the other side, these are products which include glucose and oxygen. So these are the three important reactants of photosynthesis: carbon dioxide, water and light. One by one हम इनका role study करेंगे photosynthesis में. First of all, we will discuss about light. Light is the driving energy of photosynthesis, means that it is important to derive the reaction. Without light, photosynthesis is not possible. What is light? Light is a form of energy that is called electromagnetic radiations. Light has dual nature. Dual nature means it behaves in two ways. Sometimes it acts as wave and sometimes it acts as particle. So this is the dual nature of light. This is the electromagnetic spectrum that represents the electromagnetic radiations, which include gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, infrared rays, visible light, and radio waves. From this whole spectrum, the most important region is visible region. Those wavelengths that lie in between the visible region are very important for photosynthesis. And the visible region wavelengths ranges from 380 nanometer to 750 nanometer. So the wavelengths that lie between these range are very important for photosynthesis. As you know that for photosynthesis we require sunlight. So sunlight is captured with the help of photosynthetic pigments. Chlorophyll absorbs sunlight, but only 1% of this light is used for photosynthetic reactions and the remaining light is transmitted or reflected. Next we have absorption spectrum. Absorption spectrum is a graph that shows the relative absorption of different wavelengths by different pigments during a photosynthetic reactions. So absorption spectrum ऐसा spectrum है जो ये शो करता है कि कोई पिगमेंट किस वेवलेंथ को कितना absorb करता है. So it shows relative absorption. That is why it is called absorption spectrum. It is taken by an instrument that is named as spectrophotometer. Here is a graph between percentage absorbed on y-axis and wavelength on x-axis. यहाँ पे different photosynthetic pigments का absorption spectrum ड्रा किया गया है जिनमें शामिल है chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B and carotenoids. The green colored graph shows the absorption spectrum of chlorophyll A, while a blue colored graph shows the absorption spectrum of chlorophyll B, and this black colored graph is showing the absorption spectrum of carotenoids. So you can observe that for chlorophyll A, maximum absorption occurs in between the wavelength of 400 to 450 nanometer and 650 to 700 nanometer. So chlorophyll A shows maximum absorption in 400 to 450 nanometer and 650 to 700 nanometer wavelengths. For chlorophyll B, maximum absorption occurs between 450 to 500 nanometer range and the second peak is obtained between 600 to 650 nanometer range. So because क्योंकि chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B का structure closely resemble करता है, that is why they absorb the wavelengths that are closely related to each other. So chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B shows maximum absorption in blue-violet and orange-red region. You can also observe from this figure. Carotenoids show maximum absorption in blue-violet region. So this was the absorption spectrum of different photosynthetic pigments that shows the relative absorption of different wavelengths by different pigments. Next one is the action spectrum. Action spectrum is a spectrum showing relative effectiveness of different wavelengths during photosynthetic reaction. इसके नाम से जाहिर हो रहा है ये एक्शन बताता है डिफरेंट वेवलेंथ्स का इन फोटोसिंथेटिक रिएक्शन कि कोई वेवलेंथ कितनी इफेक्टिव है, उसका कितना ज्यादा इफेक्ट है फोटोसिंथेटिक रेट के ऊपर. So to show the action spectrum, first time a German biologist named as T.W. Engelmann in 1833, he performed an experiment. And in this experiment, he took a filamentous photosynthetic algae named as Spirogyra. इसने Spirogyra को लिया, that was actually photosynthetic in nature. Then he also took aerobic bacteria. इसने aerobic bacteria को भी अपने experiment में use किया. This figure shows the Engelmann's experiment. This is the filamentous algae. And these red dots represent aerobic bacteria. Aerobic bacteria are also called aerotatic bacteria. Aerobic bacteria are the bacteria that require oxygen for their respiration. So इसने क्या किया, Spirogyra क्योंकि photosynthetic थे, they produce oxygen during photosynthesis and these aerobic bacteria require oxygen for their photosynthesis. So इसने observe किया कि जब इसने इस filamentous algae के गिर्द बैक्टीरिया को छोड़ा तो यहाँ पे ज्यादातर बैक्टीरिया मूव किए इन द रीजन ऑफ ब्लू वायलेट एंड ऑरेंज रेड. यू कैन सी दैट ज्यादातर जो बैक्टीरिया है वो इस रीजन में मौजूद है, ब्लू वायलेट एंड ऑरेंज रेड रीजन में. तो इसने यहाँ से अंदाजा किया कि इन दोनों रीजन्स में ऑक्सीजन प्रोडक्शन ज्यादा हो रही है, जिसकी वजह से ज्यादा बैक्टीरिया इन रीजन्स में मूव कर रहे हैं टू कलेक्ट दैट ऑक्सीजन फॉर देयर रेस्पिरेशन. Where there is more photosynthesis, there is more production of oxygen and most of the bacteria move toward that regions and that regions lie between blue violet and orange red regions. So he conclude that rate of photosynthesis is more at blue violet and orange red regions. And by observing this figure, he drew a graph that is called action spectrum that looks like this is the action spectrum of photosynthesis. So you can see that peaks are higher at blue violet and orange red regions. It means that there is more rate of photosynthesis at these regions. But remember that if same intensities of blue and red lights are given, rate of photosynthesis will be more in red region. अगर blue light एंड रेड लाइट इनकी इंटेंसिटी सेम है, दे हैव द सेम ब्राइटनेस, तो ज्यादा फोटोसिंथेसिस का रेट जो है होगा रेड रीजन में. सो रेड लाइट इज मोर इफेक्टिव फॉर फोटोसिंथेसिस देन ब्लू लाइट. वी हैव नेक्स्ट रिएक्टेंट कॉल्ड कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. नेक्स्ट हम डिस्कस करेंगे कि फोटोसिंथेसिस के दो फेजेस होती है, light phase and dark phase. This light has a role in light reactions while carbon dioxide has a role in dark reaction. Now question is that carbon dioxide for photosynthesis ली कहाँ से जाती है? In case of land plants, they get carbon dioxide directly from air. While in case of aquatic photosynthetic organisms, they get carbon dioxide from dissolved carbon dioxide, carbonates and bicarbonates in water. Aquatic mostly पानी में मौजूद कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड या कार्बोनेट्स बाइकार्बोनेट्स को यूज करके कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड हासिल करते हैं. In air, the composition of carbon dioxide is 0.03 to 0.04%. And land plants use this percent carbon dioxide that is present in air. Intake of carbon dioxide. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का सोर्स तो पता चल गया है, नाउ इसको इनटेक कैसे किया जाता है. लैंड प्लांट्स के जो लीव्स होते हैं क्योंकि वो एयर में एक्सपोज्ड होते हैं, सो दे गेट कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम एयर थ्रू स्पेशल पोर्स called stomata. In case of aquatic photosynthetic organisms, they get carbon dioxide from dissolved water by cell wall of mesophyll cells, because mesophyll cells में ही photosynthesis का process हो रहा होता है. So carbon dioxide को diffuse किया जाता है cell wall में, and then cell wall से आगे chloroplast में उसको transfer किया जाता है for further reactions. In case of land plants, they use stomata. Actually, लीफ सरफेस के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा मिकदार में स्टोमेटा मौजूद होते हैं. स्टोमेटा कवर 1 to 2% of total leaf surface. नाउ स्टोमेटा के थ्रू कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड किस तरह इंटर होती है लीव्स में. यू नो दैट लीव्स की सरफेस पे कुछ सेल्स मौजूद होते हैं, एंड दैट सेल्स आर कॉल्ड गार्ड सेल्स. दे लुक लाइक दिस, एंड बिटवीन दीज टू गार्ड सेल्स this opening is called stomata. Suppose this is the air. So here is carbon dioxide in the air. From this part, carbon dioxide will diffuse into this opening called stomata, and from stomata it will diffuse into the nearby regions to the mesophyll cells where it will be used. It means that कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड स्टोमेटा के थ्रू सिर्फ तब डिफ्यूज हो सकती है जब स्टोमेटा ओपन होगा. और स्टोमेटा ओपन कब होगा? व्हेन गार्ड सेल्स विल बी टर्जिड. गार्ड सेल्स टर्जिड होंगे तो ये एक दूसरे से सेपरेट हो जाएंगे, जिससे स्टोमेटा ओपन हो जाएगा. इनके दरमियान एक स्पेस डेवलप होगी, ओपनिंग डेवलप होगी, एंड दैट ओपनिंग इज ऑब्वियसली स्टोमेटा. एंड फॉर गार्ड सेल्स टू बिकम टर्जिड देयर आर डिफरेंट hypotheses, potassium ion hypothesis, sugar hypothesis. That is not the concern of this chapter, so we will not discuss this here. Remember that guard cells mostly turgid होते हैं डे टाइम में. डे टाइम में क्यों? Because for photosynthesis we require light, and light कब होती है? डे टाइम में. सो डे टाइम के दौरान गार्ड सेल्स टर्जिड होंगे, जिससे वो ओपन रहेंगे, स्टोमेटा ओपन होगा और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड डिफ्यूज होगी. जितनी फोटोसिंथेसिस का रेट ज्यादा होगा, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रिक्वायरमेंट उतनी ज्यादा होगी, और जितनी कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रिक्वायरमेंट ज्यादा होगी उतने ज्यादा टाइम के लिए स्टोमेटा को ओपन किया जाएगा. दिस ओपन एंड क्लोज साइकिल ऑफ स्टोमेटा कंटिन्यूज, और ये इनकी एक हैबिट बन जाती है, जिस वजह से अगर हम प्लांट को डार्क में रखते हैं, मतलब अंधेरे में रखते हैं, तो भी स्टोमेटा जो है वो अपने इस साइकिल के अकॉर्डिंगली जो है वो ओपन एंड क्लोज होते जाएंगे, बिकॉज इट हैज बिकम देयर हैबिट. डेली rhythmic opening and closing of stomata is because of the internal clocks that are set up inside the guard cells. So हम अगर प्लांट को डार्क में भी रखते हैं तो इन इंटरनल क्लॉक्स की वजह से स्टोमेटा अपनी रिदमिक मूवमेंट के साथ ही ओपन एंड क्लोज होगा. द लास्ट रिएक्टेंट इज वाटर. इसके बारे में हम कुछ पहले भी डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. एज यू नो दैट वाटर कंसिस्ट ऑफ 2 हाइड्रोजन आइंस, 2 electrons and an oxygen atom. It provides hydrogen ions, electrons and oxygen atom for photosynthesis. As evident from Neal's hypothesis, the oxygen released during photosynthesis comes from water. So, water provides this oxygen that is used for respiration. Moreover, it provides hydrogen ions to reduce NADP to NADPH2. And these 2 electrons are used to reduce oxidized chlorophyll. During light reaction, chlorophyll oxidize हो जाता है by absorbing light, and उस oxidized chlorophyll को दोबारा से reduce करने का काम water का है. So here was the role of different photosynthetic reactants. Next is the role of photosynthetic pigments in photosynthesis. Different photosynthetic pigments along with some other structures form a clusters called photosystems. So photosynthetic pigments का रोल जो है photosystems की फॉर्म में है. फोटोसिंथेटिक पिगमेंट्स कुछ दूसरे एलिमेंट्स कुछ दूसरे सब्सटेंसेस के साथ मिलके क्लस्टर्स की फॉर्मेशन करते हैं एंड दीज क्लस्टर्स आर प्रेजेंट ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ थाइलाकोइड मेम्ब्रेन इन द फॉर्म ऑफ फोटोसिस्टम्स. फोटोसिस्टम इसके बारे में हम पढ़ चुके हैं. इट इज अ क्लस्टर ऑफ फोटोसिंथेटिक पिगमेंट and some other structures. Now, how many parts are present in a photosystem? Basically, each photosystem consists of two parts. First part is antenna complex. Antenna complex is a light gathering part. It means that it has function to capture, to gather light. And the second part is reaction center. Reaction center is the center where this gathered light is transported and the further reactions are occurred. So one by one we will study them. The first part is antenna complex. Antenna complex consists of molecules of chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B and carotenoids. As you know that light gathering part है ये. So light gather करने के लिए we require photosynthetic pigments and that pigments are chlorophyll A, B and carotenoids. Then after capturing the light coming from the sun, they channelize this light to the reaction center for further process. As you know that the light is first captured by carotenoids. From carotenoids it is then passed to the chlorophyll B molecules. And then appropriate amount of energy that is actually required for photosynthesis is transported to chlorophyll A molecules, and then chlorophyll A molecule convert it into chemical energy with the help of reaction center. The next part is reaction center. It has one or more molecules of chlorophyll A along with primary electron acceptors and electron transport chain. So these three components are present in reaction center. One or more molecules of chlorophyll A, primary electron acceptors and electron transport chain to produce chemical energy from light energy. So what is the pathway of light energy in reaction center? First of all, chlorophyll A molecules collect this energy from carotenoids and chlorophyll B molecules. Then from chlorophyll A molecules, this energy is transported to the electron transport system with the help of some associated proteins. And this electron transport system then use this light energy and produce a chemical energy in the form of ATP. Each reaction center is associated with a specialized molecule called primary electron acceptor. As it is evident from its name, it is electron acceptor. It accepts electrons and then pass them to the electron transport chain, and during this transportation, energy of electrons is converted into ATP, and this process is called chemiosmosis. It is also called फोटोफॉस्फोराइलेशन. इसको हम नेक्स्ट डिटेल में स्टडी करेंगे. दिस इज अ फोटो सिस्टम. You can see that these green colored molecules represent a antenna complex which consists of chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B and carotenoid molecules. You can see that this is a photon coming from the sun. It is absorbed by the molecules of antenna complex, and then this energy coming from the sun resonate from one molecule to another molecule, and ultimately it is passed to chlorophyll A molecules. That is a part of reaction center, and from chlorophyll A molecules it is transported to electron transport chain through which this energy is converted into ATP. This is the reaction center, and this is primary electron acceptor. This is reaction center of chlorophyll molecule. Now types of photosystems. There are two types of photosystems, photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. हमने फोटोसिस्टम्स को क्लासिफाई किया है ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ type of chlorophyll A molecules. In case of photosystem 1, there are chlorophyll A molecules that absorb light of the wavelength of 700 nanometer. While in case of photosystem 2, there lie chlorophyll A molecules that absorb the light in the range of 680 nanometer. So these are two types of photosystems that are used during photosynthetic reactions. इनकी जो sequence है photosystem number 1 and 2, this is not on the basis of their presence in the chain, it is basically on the basis of discovery. ये डिस्कवरी के बेस पे इनको नाम दिए गए हैं. पहले photosystem 1 that has chlorophyll A molecules that absorb 700 nanometer wavelength, इनको डिस्कवर किया गया था. फिर इसको डिस्कवर किया था, इसलिए इसको फोटोसिस्टम नंबर 1 कहा जाता है और इसको फोटोसिस्टम नंबर 2 कहा जाता है. हालांकि लाइट रिएक्शन के दौरान जब इनको यूज किया जाता है तो पहले रोल होता है फोटोसिस्टम 2 का और देन फोटोसिस्टम 1 का रोल है. लेकिन 1 and 2 is not on the basis of their sequence, it is on the basis of their sequence of their discovery. पहले कौन डिस्कवर हुआ एंड बाद में कौन डिस्कवर हुआ. So this was all about photosystems.